Afterwards, I'm going to talk about some very special relics that are here, and then I'm going to conclude with the story of one saint, in particular a saint I think you will find pretty special. And so what I would ask you to do is to just sit back and to allow the Holy Spirit to minister to you through the content you're going to see and hear. Because the Holy Spirit is going to show up. He always does. Your job is to let him inside. One more piece of information that I will share with you, information I think that will interest you. Pope Francis has granted a plenary indulgence to all those who attend this exposition. So by virtue of you being present here this evening, you may obtain a plenary indulgence. What is a plenary indulgence? To explain that, I need to explain what sin is and what sin does. When we sin, two things occur. We incur guilt, and our soul incurs deformity. Sacramental confession removes the guilt, but the deformity remains, and that just makes sense, because a heart that sins is a sinful heart. The heart is changed by the sin it commits. It is deformed by it. That deformed heart has to be reformed in God's image and likeness before we can ever enter into God's presence in heaven. Because heaven is, by definition, the realm of the saints. There are no non-saints in heaven. Every soul that is in heaven is, by definition, a saint. Now, ask yourselves, of those people whom you have personally known who have already died, how many, by the time of their death, were you 100% that they were dying as saints? If you're like me, you haven't known very many, and so that is what the state of purgatory is for. It is that state of purgation whereby through suffering a soul is purified so that it may enter into God's presence in heaven. Plenary indulgence is an act by the Pope whereby he uses his authority as the successor of St. Peter, an authority described in the 16th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew, where Peter is given the authority to bind and to loosen on behalf of the entire church. It is a decree of the Pope whereby he simply mandates a removal of one's accrued time in purgatory. And so if you obtain that indulgence here today, in terms of purgatory for you, the reset button is set back to 0, and you begin your life from this point forward with a blank slate.